Hello, hi, Waleni Kamalam Khanya, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Running Podcast. Today, I'm joined by an absolute legend, elite athlete, and world champion, Carla Molinaro. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. How was your day?
It's been busy. Been supporting some friends on the UTCT 55k today.
Nice. Are you going to be out there the whole weekend?
Yeah, I'm crewing for the 100k tomorrow, and then I've got a couple of people that I coach running the 100 miler, so hoping to see them as well.
Amazing. How come you're not running?
Because I've just done a race a month
That's
ago,
true.
so yeah,
That's
recovering
true.
now.
Oh, I can't wait. I want to chat more about that a bit later. So you're not like a mountain kind of, or you just rode?
I've done a bit of everything, like track, road, trail, but at the moment focusing a bit more on road. But I still do all my easy runs on the trail.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you smashing it out on the road?
Trying to.
Oh, I've seen you. I remember I went to watch the gun run, and as I was coming around the corner, I just see you bolting. I was like, didn't they just start? What do you mean? Carla's just way down there,
funny.
just going, which is absolutely amazing to see. It's so nice to see more females dominating and doing really well. So for me, I'm just an everyday runner. I don't compete at any level, but like it's always so nice to see women on the forefront doing really well.
I think 4 girls came in the top 10 at the 55k today, which is cool.
That's right. I know Tony was racing.
Yeah, she came third, I think, yeah.
Overall, or as the girl?
Overall.
Of course.
So I think the girls came third, fourth, and then fifth and sixth, something like that. But yeah, 4 in the top 10, which is cool.
She's on fire. Both of you are on fire. Just saying, you guys are both doing exceptionally well. Has running always been something that you've done your whole life, or is that something that just like randomly started?
No, I've always run. I started running when I was at school, when I was about 14, 15.
Okay.
On the track with like 800, 1,500 meters, cross country. And then, gradually built up the distances over the years. I did triathlon for about 10 years in between there as well. And then went just to running in 2014, so nearly 9 years ago now.
Wow. You're still going.
Still going.
Would you still do cross country now, or?
I really like cross country, but I like the English cross country, which is muddy and wet, and it's really weird
So
seeing it
basically
here where
George
it's just
Mudd.
around a field. Yeah.
Which is essentially George Mudd.
Yeah. Like cross country here and in America, I find really weird because it's always like drying
Dry.
around like a golf course or something, which is weird.
That's amazing. Okay. I don't know much about cross country. All I know is that you run
Yeah.
just in anywhere really.
Yeah.
That's not a road.
Yeah. But have a look at Parliament Hill cross country, and then you'll see what proper country is. Just Google that. It's ridiculous.
Okay. And how many of those have you done?
Oh, loads.
So you like getting all muddy, down and dirty. That's your kind of vibe.
Just a bit of everything. I think it makes you a better runner, being able to
Be
not
versatile.
necessarily be good at all of them, but do them, and you get strong doing cross country as well.
Yeah. Wow. That's impressive. Was that more or less like your first introduction into doing more races, like the marathon or anything like that, or?
Yeah, so I guess the kind of grassroots scheme in the UK where I kind of grew up, they're very good at very slowly building you up the distances, where I think a lot of South Africans with running, they're like, I'm starting running, and everyone's like, have you done comrades? You're like, calm down.
Oh,
let's
yes.
start at 5K. And I think there's often here that want to jump up too quickly, where I think I've probably had a lot more longevity in the sport because I've just taken my time to slowly build up.
But that's just it though. Like I feel like when you do your first race, people already have this expectation around you, like, oh my gosh, if you can do this race, surely you can do this too. Forgetting that there's training involved, and also experience helps a lot when you get to those bigger races. I know people have been asking me about doing comrades. I'm like, I just did my first marathon.
Yeah.
Why would I jump from that to doing comrades?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah. And it's an amazing race. And I do think if you like ultra running, like, you should do it. But you don't have to rush. Like,
I don't know if I'm there, to be honest.
It's not going away. It's going to be there every year, pretty much.
I mean, I know you've done comrades.
Yeah, I've done 6 now. A lot.
And you're still going back.
Some good, some bad.
I mean, what has been your best?
My best was this year, where I did 6 hours. And yeah, this year was like a pretty perfect race for me. It hurt a lot, but
yeah, you had lots of perfect races this year.
Yeah,
had a good run this year.
Yeah, some tough ones, some great ones, but yeah, it's also been, you know, some people are like, oh my God, like, it's just happened this year. And you're like, actually, it's probably been, 20 years of learning to race and run and building. And finally, you're like, okay, it's now coming together.
I mean, Comrades is a big one. And we also know one of the big well-known names is Khanya in that mix as well. Like, how was that? I don't know if you guys ran together or you... Like, how was that experience?
Running with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. We ran together probably for the first 30K or so. And like, my intention going into that race was to always race it and like see how the race unfolded. And if she was going to go too slow, I was going to go quicker. And if she went too fast, then I was going to slow down. And yeah, it got to a bit where she started to pick it up. And I was like, no, I'm not quite ready to go that quickly yet. So backed it off. But yeah, it was cool to have her like in and around me at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Some nice little competition up in the front,
which
is really cool. Oh, I love that. I mean, I don't, maybe not now. I don't aspire to run the Comrades, but it's always so nice. Again, nice to see like the ladies doing really well in some of these big known races. I mean, as Khanya, there's a South African, which is also really cool. You also coming up, which is amazing, and I love to see that. And I think also being a part of the running community here in Cape Town, like, I think there's so much more that inspires me now and so much more I can relate to, because I think just sport in general has always been like a male-dominated thing. And it's just like not nice to see, because it's just like, oh, cool, there goes another guy.
Yeah.
Can't relate. So it's being able to see women in the field just excelling and just pushing and always trying to, I guess, stay on top of the game.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I think, women are definitely getting more recognition in the sport, which is good. And I think one thing, like, don't want to just talk about Comrades, but a thing that they did really nicely this year was they had like a female-only channel. So they had the open race on one and then a female race on the other, which I thought was a really cool way to get that, get people to have that exposure and see, the women racing.
Yeah. Have you done the Two Oceans Ultra?
I have. I did that this year as well.
How was that?
Yeah, it was good. That's probably my favourite race that I've done this year. Yeah, it's beautiful.
According to Erin, she says next year you're taking it. It's all yours. She is convinced. I was like, okay, cool. I can't wait to go up and watch next year. That's going to be really cool and exciting.
Yeah. I mean, this year, because I'd never done Oceans before, I was a bit like, I held back a bit because I didn't want to kill myself. And I also didn't know how quickly I would recover between Comrades and Oceans. So yeah, it will be nice next year to.
What's the time apart between the two?
It's about 8 weeks. So it was good to do it this year sensibly and see, and actually I recovered fine.
Okay.
So yeah.
What's your recovery routine?
To be fair, like, I actually pretty much got back into running. I could run the next day. For a week, I kept it very easy. I think I probably started sessions again probably 2 weeks after the race.
Okay.
But if that was like my A race, it would probably look a bit different. So if I go, I'll probably run harder at it next year, and then it will be I'll probably have to take a bit more recovery between the two races.
Wow.
But then after Comrades, I had like a month off.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
So you had some time just to
Yeah.
rest the legs, catch
Yeah.
up on some sleep.
Yeah.
Because early morning training sessions.
I know.
I've seen you on the prom a couple of times, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, wow, she's still going.
Yeah, still. And everyone loves to run at 6 a.m.
Love to see it.
I love an 8 a.m. start. Maybe 10.
Maybe 10. How long did it take you to train for Comrades? Because that's quite a distance.
It is, I think, well, I guess we pretty much started Comrades training in the November. But then because we had to like build up and do a marathon and get the marathon qualifier and then to
Yeah.
Oceans and then to Comrades. So it's, kind of a long build, which what's quite nice about next year's Comrades and Oceans is I've already got the qualifying time.
Brilliant.
So I don't have to do a marathon, which is quite nice because I don't really want to at the moment.
Well, which one would you do if you had to?
I did Red Hill last year, which I think is, if you're doing Comrades or Two Oceans, I think it's the perfect one to do. I think a lot of people go and do Peninsula because
Okay.
it's fast and flat, but Comrades and Oceans are not fast and flat. So I think if you can go and you can do a hilly one,
Yeah.
it's going to actually pay dividends in those races
Wow.
that you do. So I think that's the best qualifier that we've got here, even though it's hard.
Yeah. Sheesh. I've actually never heard of that one.
It's beautiful.
Where's
so it's
that?
down by Simonstown. And it's got a brutal climb in it, but like past Comachee and Misty
Yeah.
Cliffs. And so it's such a beautiful route that,
Wow.
it's a
Sheesh.
nice one to do.
So, well, I mean, I don't know if that's like your favorite one, but which have been your favorite marathons so far?
So one of my favorite races, it's a 50K, was,
Besides the one that before we get to it, it can't be that one. So
It's not that
anyone
one.
before
so it's
the
called False Bay 50K.
one. Okay.
So again, it starts, I guess it must start in False Bay or somewhere out there, and it finishes in Gordons Bay.
Okay.
And it's in between Comrades and Oceans, and it is beautiful. Like you're on the coast the whole way. It's prettier than Oceans. So you're on the coast on these rolling roads.
That's
and they
a big one because Oceans.
yeah, but they shut the roads. So you're the only people on these roads, and there's only like 1,000 people that do the race. It's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Is that like because it's done on purpose or just
I think
that
people
many
just don't know about it.
I don't know.
I know. But it's such a nice race.
That's
It's well
brilliant.
organised, like really pretty, like chilled.
Huh. Maybe we should go out there.
Yeah. So
Try it
that's a
out.
good one.
Okay. That's really cool. Any cool like international ones that you enjoy?
I really liked Seville. That was a very cool marathon. I did that 2 years ago. It's in the south of Spain. It's in a very cool city. There's loads of good food.
Yeah.
And what I quite liked is you did the race. As soon as you finished the race, about an hour later, you would have had absolutely no idea that a marathon had just happened. Everyone just like disappeared and was eating and drinking in the bars, which I quite liked. It was like, cool, let's just go have fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of running, right?
Yeah. It was nice. But it was just like the city didn't have a clue what had happened.
That's amazing. I mean, I think Cape Town, the people who don't run in town probably would wish for that. Because usually when you run a race in town, people just linger and like people start getting agitated who haven't run. They can't get home.
Exactly.
Roads are blocked off.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a few people. I was supporting the peace run the day before the marathon. And one of the guys came out the flat and asked, so they had like this huge little cheer zone with the massive Adidas bus and there's people on it. This guy came out of his flat and he asked him, can you please shut down your music? I was like, it's a cheer zone. I'm pretty sure you will let know, like, hey, this is going to be happening in front of your flat. Can you not see the thousands of people running past? Like, how do you shut that down?
But also like, dude, it's just for a couple of hours. Go have breakfast.
Wait, we're like, no, wait, it's loud everywhere. So I think he would enjoy that, like
Yeah,
going to
probably.
that town where it's, you run, get it over and done
Yeah,
with,
done.
it's quiet again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in town, slightly
Yeah.
different. We like to linger
Yeah.
and hang out.
It is nice to have that vibe at the end, but yeah, I thought it was quite cool that it was like, oh, what happened here? Cool.
Straight to the bar.
Yeah. Literally.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I want to chat about gun run. So I know I was saying earlier on when I came to watch the gun run earlier this year, I just saw you bolting out. And I was just like, wow, cool. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was cool. I was trying to... So I've got like a little group that I train with in Cape Town. And my goal was to stick with the boys until I got to the bottom of the hill, because I knew they were faster than me on the uphill. And I pretty much did that. And then I really suffered in the second half. I'm not sure. I think I'd been ill in the week before the race, and I was in denial. And I told my coach, but then neither of us brought it up.
It's like every runner. Also, when they're injured, they just don't say anything.
Yeah, it's like if I don't say it out loud, it will be fine. So yeah, for that one, I was going for a certain time and I didn't get the time that I wanted. So it's always nice to win a race, but it's a bit annoying when you know you've could have run quicker.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So I will
you
try
still
again.
won.
Yeah, still won.
You still won.
But it's really hard when you're saying to people that, yeah, as part of training, you're trying to go for a time and they're like, what's the problem? And I'm like, I know it sounds ridiculous. I'm fully aware. But
Stop beating yourself up. You did so great.
Yeah. But you're like, sometimes, I guess, you're trying to hit certain times. So then you know that you're capable of running a faster marathon. And so setting your paces and stuff for races that you're doing later on in the year are a result of those races. So when you don't run as fast, then you're like, oh, can we push the pace up or not? But yeah, it was very cool to do a race that's literally on my doorstep.
Was that your first gun run?
Yeah.
And you won it. That's amazing.
So yeah, it was very cool to do a race where you train. You know, I know that route like the back of my hand. Like we'd been doing that hill every week.
But also just something about Green Point and Sea Point that we all know so well.
Yeah. And then, the wind was obviously ridiculous on the way back in. But you're like, cool.
I mean, surely it must have pushed you just to help you a little bit.
You can never feel it when you've got the tailwind though, can you? It's only when you turn round and then the headwind hits you, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why that felt easy. Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. Huh. I mean, I've never run the gun run.
Okay.
People ask me, are you going to run it or are you not? And I just wasn't prepared to do it just because it was too close to the marathon. And I was just like, I don't want to kill myself before, the big day.
Yeah.
And especially going into my first marathon, I was just like, no.
Yeah.
I'll come and spectate. I'll come and cheer you on, which I'm so glad I did, because at the end of it, I heard a lot of things where people like, it's very tough, the hill and this and that. And I was just like,
Yeah, when everyone says it's a fast, flat half marathon, it's not. That's a lie. Don't believe anyone that tells you that.
That's what they said to me about Two Oceans.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just like two hills.
Sure.
Till you meet Southern Cross.
Yeah.
That's completely different.
Yeah.
That's not even a hill. That's just an entire mountain.
Yeah, they're both on the half. Yeah, the Edinburgh Drive and Southern Cross there.
Edinburgh was okay for me just because we had trained there.
Yeah.
And I had missed the training for Southern Cross.
Okay.
So I didn't know what to expect.
Okay. And it kicks up.
And then when you talk to people, like, oh, no, it's just one hill. But then they didn't tell you what happens after the hill. That there's more hill and then it's sideways and it's just a whole mess. I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to trust anyone when they tell you, oh, it's just a small hill.
No, don't believe anyone in South Africa where they tell you it's flat and fast, unless it's on the Durban Promenade. Actually, no, then don't, because I went there and did a 21 and it was so windy.
So just no. Just no.
Just don't believe the lies. Because they're lies. They're all lies.
Oh my gosh. So this is obviously all leading up into your big race. The big 50K, world champ. What was that preparation from, preparing for this race to actually going to the start line and running?
Yeah, so I did the 50K world champs in India. And I started to get ready for that, I guess, the beginning of August. And it was pretty much a marathon training program because it's only a little bit further than a marathon. So marathon training, did loads of it out here on the prom. And it was great because all of my friends are doing Cape Town Marathon. So we all got to train together.
Yeah.
We had very similar sessions. So that was great that I had the guys to run with. And then because India was going to be hot and humid, I actually went out and stayed with Khanya in Dubai and did a training camp there for
I was going to ask
2
about
weeks.
that.
Yeah.
2 very different climates.
Yeah. So I went there and stayed with her for 2 weeks to get used to the heat and humidity, which was, probably the best thing I could have done.
Yeah.
And then at least that way I'd done like the big flight. So to get into India, I flew in on Thursday night and the race was on the Sunday because, you hear all these things that people get sick in India and it's
Trying
not
to
great.
stay away from that.
And I was like, it's happened to too many people to risk it. So I'm like, control the controllables. So I did. I'm like, I can control this. I can go in as late as possible. Flew in the Thursday night, couple of little shakeout runs Friday, Saturday, and then raced on Sunday.
Jeez. I mean, how, if you had to compare, I mean, I know the extremes, but if you had to compare your running routine from here to going to Dubai and going to India, what's that like? Because obviously those are different climates.
Yeah. It did take me a while to get used to the humidity. It's wild. You've got no idea. It's wild. You're just sweating and then you finish a run. And actually, you can't go and shower straight away because if you ever had that where you then keep on sweating after a shower.
Oh, yeah.
So you just got to wait for an hour till your body temperature's cooled all the way down.
Might as well just stay in the shower at that point.
Exactly. Yeah, you're like... So, it's just, hot and humid and sticky and gross. But at least I could practice it. So by the time it came to the race, I knew what to expect. And I think... all the other girls that I was racing against, none of them had done that. They had done heat training where they'd sat in a sauna. And I'm like, sauna's dry heat. Why? You should have been sitting in the steam room. You were in the wrong one.
Sheesh. Oh, my gosh.
And I don't think, sitting in the heat for an hour is very different to doing a 30K run. So
That's true.
At least I think, that gave me a little bit of an edge because I just knew how rubbish it was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, how are you... For me, if it's too hot or dry out, my nose just dries up. And it feels like I can't breathe.
Yeah, you just... But...
I mean, you obviously need your nose to breathe as well. So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I would rush back to India to race. You'd have to pay me a lot of money to go back there. But it was good to go somewhere that I would never go normally.
Yeah.
It takes you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But that place is wild.
That's insane. I mean, I'm assuming you came straight back home.
No, I went to Sri Lanka for a week and lay on a beach.
As you should.
And drank
World
from
champs.
a coconut.
As a world champ should. Obviously. I would not expect anything less.
Everyone's like, did you go travelling in Sri Lanka? I was like, no, sat on a beach.
I would have been disappointed if you told me actually you came straight back home.
No. And by that time, I was... when you've been traveling for a long time and I was ready to come back home. I was like, I really want to come back now. And my one friend, Alex, had said to me, he's like, look, Cape Town hasn't changed. He's like, it's the same. Just enjoy your holiday. You'll be back in the fold when you get back here. And I came back and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad. Because I just kept thinking that. I was like, no.
Yep.
Enjoy the beach. Chill out.
Of course.
But,
world champ, take it all in. Sip on your coconut drink. Someone should have been waving palm leaves at you as well. Just saying. I don't know why they weren't there. Yeah. We'll speak to them, but they won't be in India, hopefully next time. Yo, that's absolutely incredible. What was your game plan going into that race? Were you going with the expectation of I want to win, or?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to win. But my game plan was to just see what the other girls were going to do and then respond to it. Because everyone, obviously, the day before, everyone's like, how fast you're going to run? And everyone's banding around times, but you never know if anyone's actually telling the truth or not.
Mind games.
Yeah. And then as the race started, they actually went off slower than they said they were going to go. So we were going about 10 seconds slower per K. And that was the lead group. So there was 5 of us. And I was like, well, I'm just going to sit here and like chill. Like in the guys race, the leader just went off like a hare and just hammered it from the start and broke the field up. But I was like, there's no point pushing harder if I don't have to. So I was like, I'm just going to sit here. So I just sat there, and then after about halfway through the race, one of the girls dropped off, and then a lap later, another girl dropped off, and there was 3 of us left. And I thought, okay, because it was 10 5K laps. And then lap 7, I was like, maybe I should pick up the pace a bit and try and break the group up. And I did, and no one came with me. So I was like, well, if I can do this now, I can do this on the last lap. So I'm going to go back and jog with the other guys. So I went back and slowed down and just ran with them until... Oh, one of the girls, she then put in a surge. I couldn't quite keep up with her, but then she stopped to go to the loo. Yeah. I let her catch up.
No.
And yeah, then the last lap, I pulled away and no one came with me. And I was like, all right.
That's your chance.
Yeah, so it was weird because I've never done like a strategic race before. You know, normally I'm going for a time and you want to hit those splits, you know, like gun run. Like I wanted to do a time. You're trying to hit the splits. When you can't hit the splits, it's very hard. Your head goes, you're like, oh my God, like I've messed it up. I might as well jog in. Where this one was, I didn't care what time I was doing. I was just running and being like, well, this feels all right. So it was
used to this heat.
It was weird, but I guess it's, you know, like thinking about it a bit more, I guess it's having done loads and loads of races, and I'm slowly learning how to race.
Yeah, I love that.
Where, before, you know, you see all the girls at the World Champs, like 1,500, 5K, and they're all tactical. They all sit there and wait and then go when the bell goes and see who's the quickest to the finish, which is basically what we did. Yeah.
Wow. That's insane. I'm in awe. Personally, I don't think I could do it. 50K and 50K in heat like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That takes a real special person.
I was very sick at the finish. I've never vomited so much in my life. I think from the heat.
But, I mean, it could have been both. Like you're pushing yourself as well quite a bit.
But I'm like, at least it was at the finish, so it was fine.
Now when the person was peeing, like,
No, you're like, no.
Oh my gosh. Was that like the most extreme race you've done in the sense where the heat was that bad, or has it been worse like conditions?
Yeah, I mean, Comrades, the conditions there are always pretty brutal, like hot and windy and savage. But yeah, like that. I've never run in humidity like that before.
It's always the first for everything.
Yeah.
Onto the bigger and better things.
Yeah.
If you can conquer that, I'm pretty sure you can do anything. I mean, my money's on you winning the next Comrades.
Oh, thanks. That's the goal.
And 2 Oceans. Erin laid it down very nicely for me. And I was like, actually, you know what? That makes so much sense. I was like, I backed this.
I need to win it so then I'd never have to do it again.
So you're just going to keep going until...
Yeah.
I mean...
It might take me 20 years, but I'm going to keep going until that happens.
I don't know if I want to say that's a good strategy. But I back you.
Thanks.
If you need water, I'll be on the sideline. I'll be your water girl.
You're like, come on, one day, surely.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's mad respect. I mean, I remember when I was running, when I was doing the marathon, and there was just like so many, like a lot older gentlemen, like, I mean, it's probably like in his 60s, 70s, doing the race. And I was just like, how are you still running? Like, how do you still have energy? Where did you find it? I'm 28 and I'm struggling halfway through.
But I want to be like one of those people. They look like leather, don't they? Like they've been out in the sun so much. That will be me.
Oh my gosh, I did not expect it.
But you know what I mean? They look like that, don't they? It's like, cool, you have spent some time on the roads.
I don't know if that's okay to say.
No, it's fine. I mean, cow skin's leather. Our skin could be made into leather.
Oh my gosh. So that's the aim?
Well, no, like I'll keep on running until I don't like it anymore.
I mean, you've been running for so long. Will there
Yeah.
ever be a point where you don't like it anymore?
I don't know. Maybe.
Would you
I don't want to force it, like
Yeah.
running for me, like it's fun and I love it. And obviously we all have those days where you're like, I don't want to go and run. But I would say 95% of the time I do. And I
Yeah.
think if that ever stopped and it feels like a graft and I'm having to make myself go out, then, maybe it's time to start learning to crochet,
Cool.
which would be fun.
That's a different kind of marathon.
Yeah.
I mean, what are some of the big plans that are coming up?
So next year, I think I'm going to do Oceans, Comrades and Cape Town Marathon.
Just that?
Just that.
Are you sure?
I'll do some other races, but they'll be like
Gun run.
stepping stones for the other ones. So I've got a couple of 10Ks coming up the end of this year. The
Okay.
Growth Point one, it's like a
But
nice...
it's the end of the year already.
Yeah.
How much
like
more?
2 weeks.
Literally.
Yeah.
So which races are still going besides
Yeah.
UTCT? I thought
Yeah.
that would be like the last big calendar race.
But it's quite nice because it's like a 6 p.m. race out and back on the prom.
Oh,
10K, yeah.
is it a race that late?
Yeah. Which I think will be quite a nice vibe to do an evening race and then go out
Wow.
for dinner. And
I've never heard of any evening races.
Yeah.
I've been
There you
living
go.
here for 10
there
years.
you go.
I guess it's the first for everything.
Yeah.
But also you live there.
True.
So you see everything there. And also you probably have like a whole race calendar.
It's quite hard to actually find all the races here. I wish there was like an easier way, like the False Bay, that really nice
Yeah.
50K one. I said, like, you only find out about it because someone else has told you about it. It's
True.
It's actually really difficult to find. Yeah.
Because there's always so many small random ones that are happening.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh,
And those small random ones are normally awesome. Like this evening 10K one. Like that will be a really fun thing to do.
I love that.
Yeah.
Is that all part of UTCT or?
No, that's a separate one. Yeah. UTCT's just till Sunday.
Okay. I know you got big plans for UTCT. You got some people that you're coaching running there.
Yeah, 2 people doing the 100 miler. So they'll be out all weekend, literally. They start at 5 p.m. tonight.
You sound so stoked.
No, it's such a hard 100 miler. It's a really, really difficult, it's technical. The terrain's really challenging, where I think other 100 milers like Carkloof is very runnable.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the difference, I think the winners for Carkloof will probably do around 16 hours. The winners here will do like 24. That's how much harder this race is. So it's a long weekend.
Would you do anything like that?
No, I've done really long stuff, but I like to go to sleep at the end of the day. So I don't mind doing a race that's all day as long as it ends with me getting in my bed. And I don't want, where you're like, I don't want to keep on going all
And
night.
just keep going and just
No.
keep going.
No.
What's the longest you've done?
The longest I've run is 120K.
That's very close to 100 miler.
It is, but I finished at 10 p.m. and went to bed.
Fair.
I do want to do a 100 miler, but the only one I want to do is Western States in America. And I'm pretty sure I could do that in one day because it starts early in the morning.
Okay.
I mean, you might finish at like 1, 2 a.m., but you still get to bed, which is, I just don't want to go
That's
like...
the point. The moral here at the end of the story is to always to end up in your bed at the end of the race.
Yeah. It's like you see some people, like I coach some people that do like 350 kilometer races, single stage, in one go.
How do your legs feel after that? Surely your quads must feel
It's
raw.
just ridiculous. So one of my friends did a 200 miler in America and his wife was coming to crew him for the last little bit. So he sees his wife and then he says, "No, you're a witch," and hides behind a rock and then refuses to get out from the rock because he's hallucinating so much because he hasn't slept that he thinks his wife is an actual witch.
No.
So hides And she's like, no, man, like, come out. And he's like, no, I can't run with a witch. Like, what are you doing? So they had to wait till a couple of other runners came so they could swap support crew. So some other guy could like coax them out from behind the rock and help them to the finish line. So I think with races that long, this is what happens as you start
seeing things.
Exactly. It's not your leg. Like your legs are screwed. You know that. But when your mind starts
going, it goes.
I'm like, I really hope your wife has never let you forget that. He's like, no. I'm like, good.
Yeah. That's bad. Hectic. Huh. No, thank you.
No.
I'm good. I think I'll stick to my 42.
Yeah.
I'll come support you guys in your 120 and your 160 and no thank you.
No.
Yeah, no. Keep it short and sweet.
Exactly. Done in a day.
I'm good. I know I don't know if you know about William Googe, who ran across America. And I'm just like, how did you not start going crazy? Because he ran comrades distances every day. And I'm just like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I back you. See what you're doing.
Yeah.
Woo, I'll give you kudos.
Yeah. Well done.
Well done. But no.
Yeah.
I've always just wanted to like peck like a brain of an ultra marathoner. Like, I just want to know what made you want to run comrades? Like, how did you get to that point? Like, what made you want to run more than 42 Ks?
Well, that my dad said to me I wasn't a real runner until I'd done comrades. Oh. Yeah. So
that really
that's
set
his
on
fault.
Fire.
Yeah. And, you know, like when he said it, I was like, go away, like whatever, like I'm not doing comrades. And then I guess that seed's probably kind of planted and then you're like, okay.
Okay, well, I really hope no one ever says that to me.
It's not true, by the way. You're a real runner if you do 5K or if you do 160K.
That's insane. Yeah. No, thank you. But again, I will cheer everyone on who's willing to do more than 42 Ks. Good for you. I'll keep to the cute ones.
42 Ks is a long way.
It is a long way.
Yeah.
Especially if you've never done it before.
Yeah.
My body, it went through a lot.
Still, when you've done it, like I think people underestimate the distance. It's far.
Damn far.
Yeah. The guy that invented the marathon died at the end. Because it was
Literally.
that far. Literally.
Literally, he delivered his message and then just
died.
collapsed.
It's far.
I was telling someone about that story and they looked at me and they're like, so why would you want to do it?
Yeah,
I was like, that's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
But we commemorate him every time we do it.
All around the world.
Thousands and thousands of people choose to do it. And I'm just like, and we keep going back and keep challenging ourselves.
It's wild.
That's insane. Oh my gosh. But I don't want to waste any more of your time. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I've honestly really enjoyed this moment with you. Thank you so much for sharing some of your stories. But before we head off, any tips for someone who wants to start running or someone who's already running but wants to do more races and try to challenge themselves?
I think, firstly, don't rush it. I think when you get into running, there is often that, peer pressure of, oh my God, how far are you going to run?
Yeah.
Take your time and build up the distances and then find the one that you like,
Absolutely.
So you might do a marathon and be like, actually, I didn't quite like that. And it's fine to go back and do a 21K. And that's where you sit and that's where you like and that's where you enjoy because it fits in with your work and your family and your friends. So find the right distance for you with the time that you have. And then I definitely think joining a running group, running crew, finding a running buddy is one of the best things that you can do. Like in Cape Town, we're so lucky. There's so many. I can literally go and run with someone else every single day.
Spoiled for choice.
Yeah. And I think they're just fun. It makes it fun. You get to see your friends.
Yeah.
You talk rubbish whilst you're running and then the time flies by. And then as you start to get better, finding, a good group of people to run with helps you improve as well because you'll all start to push each other in the group. If you're the fastest person in the group, you don't want the slow people to catch you. If you're the slowest people in the group, you want to catch the fast people. So, yeah, I think taking your time, building up slowly, and then when you get to that point where you want to start racing and running better, like the best thing you can do is get a group. And if you can't find the right group for you, you know, do what I did this year and I made a group. And then, you know, slowly you can say, this is the paces that we're running at, who wants to join? And there'll always be someone that wants to be a part of it. So
you started your own running crew.
I did.
Love to see it. Amongst the many running crews.
Yeah.
Just keep adding on.
We've just got another one.
Just keep adding on.
Yeah.
That's just more for us to choose from.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Where's your running crew based? On the prom?
On the prom, we're called, I don't know, we're called Bros and Hoes.
You have to explain. You have to explain.
It's just because it's me and a bunch of guys. I just thought it was funny. And I'm trying to find more girls for my group.
Cool.
So yeah. And it's just a fun group. We all kind of run, like everyone's probably between a 2:40 and a 2:55 marathon. So yeah, fast guys. So, but I think, you know, if you're in that and you want to run, come and run with us, because there's all different groups, and like, don't be scared to be like, I want to go
insane.
Run faster, I want to run slower. And it's about finding like the right group.
Yeah.
For you, which I think's
that's an insane time, by the way.
It's quick. Luckily, I found people to run with me. I'm like, come on, guys, let's go running.
Need a good challenge today.
Yeah, exactly.
That's insane. Oh my gosh, but I love it. But thank you so much for being on here.
Pleasure.
All the best for everything. Congrats for being a world champ.
Thanks for having me.
Can't wait for more exciting races. Can't wait to see you winning the 56
Thanks.
Oceans. Can't wait to see you with comrades. Might as well say congratulations in advance at this point.
Do I have to do the race? Can this just be enough?
You know what? I feel like anything that's said on this podcast is just a word. So,
okay, cool.
I mean, exactly. So congratulations.
Oh, thanks. It's been great. The training was hard.
I mean,
the cake was good. The
always,
end.
Exactly. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Why are you running?
This episode is brought to you by SoundSpeed, the sound specialists.